I'm Fara Sax with the Community Voice. Thank you so much for joining us today. I have a wonderful guest today. It's the Boys and Girls Clubs of Miami-Dade. They've been in our community since 1946, and their mission is to empower our young youth year-round with their year-round programs that help them build character, leadership abilities, and develop lifelong skills. What stands as one of the programs that has started as one location just for boys is now 6 locations serving our community. And I'm joined today by its president, Alex Rodriguez-Roig. Thank you so much for joining me, and you serve as the president, and you're going to tell us everything there is to know.
Yes, thank you for having me here. It's great to be here again.
It's wonderful. And last year we came together, and it was right before your gala, and it seems like right before your gala again, and you have like this attitude of calmness.
Thank you.
But behind
Thank you. You don't know what's going on in my head.
That's right. That's right. You got like a million things going, and you've been with the club for 30 years.
Almost there. Next year will be 30 years. Wow, thanks for dating me. Fantastic. I was 5 when I started, if anybody's counting.
I wasn't even born.
I hear that a lot. But yes, it's one that started as just something, a part-time job that grew to so much more, and it's just because of the work that happens at the club. Once you spend time in there, it kind of starts to grow on you, and it just kind of captivates you, and it just feels good when you're helping folks, families, kids, all that kind of stuff. So when you're able to help them, it just feels really good to do that. And one thing led to another, and then you do one project and you do another project, and just keeps going. Next thing you know, you're never done. You always got another project coming up. So then it's been 29 years. So yeah, it's been really neat. So
talk about that journey and how that evolved for you, and to see what the mission is of the Boys and Girls Clubs for those in the audience that don't know what the mission is for the club.
Sure. I mean, the mission has not changed since the 1800s when it first started in Boston by 3 women, and the organization became a federated model, and it grew all over the country, and started here in Miami, like you mentioned, in 1946. And it's basically to provide a place for the youth to be at when there's no school, for them to grow and to develop into really productive human beings. And what does that mean? It means education. It means life skills. It means fitness. It means everything that can make you a better human being. That's what the Boys and Girls was all about, is teaching kids those tools that they need to succeed. The tools have changed over the years. The world has changed over the years. So our goal is really to keep providing those. If you have somebody goes to your house to do some work and they show up with a hammer, you're like, well, they're not going to be able to do much. But if they show up with a toolbox full of all these different kind of tools, they can do so much more. And that's what we see it ourselves as. We're providing those tools that they can use in their life to really become better. What's their goal? One of the worst answers a teen gives us at times is, what are you doing after you graduate high school? And their answer is, I don't know. That's the worst answer you can give us. The best answer is, I'm going to college, I'm starting a job, I'm learning a career, I'm doing something. You have to have a plan. And our job is really to make sure that they can find their passion, find their plan, and give them experiences that to help them get there.
And this is a growth for you as well, and what inspires you every day?
Often it's just walking into the club and seeing the kids and seeing the families, particularly during certain activities or when they're being picked up by their moms. And sometimes you often I see this a lot during the summer because it's a full day, and you see it where the kid shows up and says, Mom, can you pick me up later? You're early. And Mom gets a sad face, like he doesn't want to be with me. And I always look at myself and I said, well, I'm be glad that they don't want to be. That means they're having a great time here. Not that they don't love you. That means they're just having a great time here. When you open the door and they're running at you, get me out of here, then you got a wrong place. But yeah, that's kind of inspiring to see when kids are actually saying, I'm enjoying it. I'm really loving what I'm doing here. I'm learning, because we try to focus on things that they like. If they're interested in science, we have STEM programs. If they're interested in arts, we have arts programs. If they're interested in sports, we have sports programs. So we have a little bit of everything for all the kids, and that's kind of what we want to do.
And there's 6 different locations.
Yes, there's 6 different locations in Miami, from Kendall to South Beach to Liberty City, Northwest Dade, Miami Gardens, and of course Little Havana, which is the original.
And it's a nationwide statistic, not my statistic. 7.7 million kids are left unsupervised after school, and about 25 million don't have access to after-school programs. Oof. How critical are these clubs that you're filling in this gap right here in our backyard of Miami-Dade.
Yeah, it's very critical. I mean, some of our statistics, local statistics, 95% of the parents that send their kids to the club said this is the only place they send them to, which means they would not be able to send them anywhere else. So if it wasn't for the Boys and Girls Clubs, they'd be out in the streets or at best home alone, which is not really that good anyway. So it's very critical, the work that the Boys and Girls Clubs does. And that's kind of where a lot of our passion comes from, because there's so much need to help these kids grow and develop.
And how old are the children that you service in our community?
So school age, from kindergarten all the way to high school. So we have kids that have been here since they're 5 years old that come to the club, and they're just, we call them, they've been there for their whole life, and their parents say, this is life. Without the club, I don't know what to do. I got to get to work. I got to do all these things. So it's really neat to see them grow and develop, because we get to see that too. We get to see them grow from 5 to 10 to 12 to 15 to 18 years old, and hopefully graduate and do well.
And it's very interesting. You stepped into our space this morning, and you were greeted by one of our own, and she has definitely one of your children. It turns out she was one of your children at the Boys and Girls Club, and she said that was the most important experience of her life.
Yes, and it's interesting, because I walked, and I haven't seen her since 25, 30 years ago, or almost 30 years when I started. And it was funny to see that I recognized her face, and she looks really familiar. But that's what her story, what she mentioned about, it was very important. That's what we want every kid to walk out of there with. Saying, this was very impactful in my life. And when you're a kid, sometimes you don't realize the impact that something's had. If you're doing it right, you don't really realize the impact at the point as a child. But as you get older, you realize that was a big impact on me. So yeah, it's pretty neat to see that.
So these classes are the classes and programming that you're giving to these children are life skill programming. Talk about some of that, what you offer.
Yes. So, in life, the more experiences you have, the better off you are. So some of those, for example, a simple one is the one that probably they like the least, but it's homework assistance. A lot of kids need help with their homework. We have kids that many times parents don't speak the language, so they really can't get that help at home. So we do homework assistance. If we realize that the kids needs a little bit extra help, we have tutors at every one of our clubs, and people don't realize that we have tutors. We don't do one-on-one, but we do small group tutoring. And what that does, if you were to hire a tutor, it's $60 an hour. We provide that. That's part of if this kid needs a little extra help on math or reading or writing or whatever it may be, we provide that help. Once we get to that, then you start getting to more of the fun stuff. Some of the STEM programs, some kids love robotics and they love that kind of stuff. Well, we have programs for that as well. And so a typical day at the club, kid walks in, they do their homework, they get snacks, they socialize, which is another big aspect of life. In school, many times socialization is limited because it's school and it's a structured setting. We're very less structured than that. We're not getting grades. We're not giving grades out, that kind of stuff. You come and you do your essential stuff, but then you enjoy the stuff you like, the STEM, the arts, the social skills, the dance, the STEM that we talked about, all these different things, the sports. I love to play basketball. Well, you know what? There's a venue for that. I love to play kickball. There's a venue for that. So that's the idea. The idea is to find what they're really interested in and kind of pique their interest there.
And what are the costs for participating?
So we do have some costs associated with every program, but we never turn a kid for the inability to pay. We kind of have a pretty bad business model. It's pretty, if you look at it from a business, this is terrible. We look at whatever the going rate for the program is in the community, and we need to make sure that we're less than half of that. So if the going rate is 100, we need to make sure we're less than 50. It's terrible. But the reason I said, tongue in cheek, is because that's our job, is to find the resources needed to offset all the costs of these programs, so we don't pass that cost on to the parents. And like I said, if the kids can't pay, that's okay. We'll figure that out as well.
And we talked about this off camera. We talked about what to look for in a program, and that parents are starting late because we just started with school, and parents now are starting to look at their after school activities for their children. And what advice can you give to a parent that's looking to place a child into a program, whether it be yours or something else?
The first thing that I always tell parents is ask for a tour. If they're not willing to give you a tour, or they say that then you've got to think about it. And look at, and one of the best advice is always talk to other parents that are in the program or kids are in school. It's your best source of references. You've got to ask them about the program, but you also look for what's part of the program itself that you're enrolling in. What do they do? And you ask those specific questions. And if someone ever gets annoyed by a parent asking too many questions, that's probably not the right place. We encourage parents to ask questions. The more they know, the more we can provide, the more we can do. So never, those are simple things that you can ask in the onset of just showing up to a place. And of course, the programming is important. What's going on in the program, whether it's homework assistance, whether it's what are the specific things that are going on in the program is really important to see.
And it says 2024 was the Youth Right Now report shows that 92% of the club members are on track to graduate on time. Wow, that's pretty incredible. What do you think sets the Boys and Girls Club apart from other youth programs?
Sure. I mean, one of the biggest things is it's in our mission. It's to inspire. And we all, every day as human beings, as adults, we need inspiration. And some people, they go to work, they get a paycheck, they get the money, and they're inspired to do something and during the weekend, and I get to go to the movies or whatnot. So what's the motivator for kids? A letter grade on a piece of paper that says, "Hey, I got an A." For many kids, that's an abstract thing on a piece of paper. It doesn't really mean anything. So what inspires them? Well, I'm inspired to go to the game room. I'm inspired to do art. I'm inspired to go on these cool field trips that the Boys and Girls Clubs takes the kids on, and that's kind of what motivates them. So when you have those kind of things, that kind of motivates kids to do better, to do. But people ask us all the time, "What's the secret sauce?" And really, it's people. It's a staff that shows up there every day and talks to the kids. "Hey, how was your day today? What's going on? I got some exciting news for you. We're doing this. I know you like X. We're doing that today."
How big is the staff?
We have about 120 staff members.
Is it staff or volunteers?
Staff.
Wow.
That's just staff. And that's important to us because with staff, we mandate trainings. We mandate certain things that they have to do. Consistency. They're there every day. We do have a big volunteer base for all of our, especially our sports programs. But volunteers don't have to necessarily show up every day, for the whole year. If they do a commitment for a sports program like football or whatnot, it's for a season. And that's great. But the everyday thing, 10, 12 months out of the year, it's hard to get it out of volunteer. So the consistency, just like you mentioned, is really key to that.
And it's probably the relationships that these children and people that work at the club bond is probably insurmountable. For years, they probably keep in touch, and you probably hear some wonderful stories, feedback.
Yes, I mean that's a great point. We always talk about that informal mentoring that goes on every single day. We meet here today for 30 minutes, and you have an impact on me, I have an impact on you. But if we meet every single day for 2 or 3 hours, the impact is going to be greater. That you're going to have.
Are you suggesting that?
We could, if you like. We can meet for lunch every day if you like.
Okay, all right. What are you cooking now?
Yes, but absolutely, it's about the impact. It definitely makes a difference. So the consistency of kids being at our clubs, at our facility based, it's a different environment. It's not school. It's not out in the park somewhere. It's at a club. It becomes their second home, their clubhouse, and the staff, that spends time with them every single day does absolutely make a difference. Absolutely.
You probably hear those stories later and later and later in their lives and all the good things that they've done. With the 6 clubs that you have from South Beach to Skyway Elementary, how do you ensure that each location meets the unique needs of that particular community?
Yeah, it's a great question because Miami's so diverse and have so many different communities. It's having the right people in place. I mean, each club has a club director, and we continually talk to them every single week. We have obviously our staff at the administrative office and whatnot. We continually talk to them every single week and find out, hey, what's going on? What are the needs? Because there's different. While the program and we talked about in general is the same, there's different nuances in every single club that pertains to the community you're in. Obviously, South Beach has a different kind of community than Kendallwood or than Liberty City or Little Havana would. So we need to make sure that we're working with that.
Beautiful. And up and coming, I can't believe it, we're talking Christmas. One of your seasonal programs, the Christmas tree lot. So let's talk Christmas.
Let's talk Christmas trees. I mean, I wore my Christmas tree socks just for this conversation.
Oh, but I didn't. I didn't get the memo. You were taking me to lunch.
Oh my gosh! Yeah.
Every day. So talk about why these trees are special. Really, it's not just Peanuts and Lucy. It's really special Christmas.
Yes,
and we have some vid on that, and we're showing pictures and delicious. Look at these beautiful green. I can smell it from here.
Yes. We it's been a tradition for the club for more than 50 years now, probably even longer than that. So it's something I inherited. But it's one of our fundraisers. I mean, we talked about all these fantastic programs, and it's like, well, how do you pay for all this stuff? And of course, we have a lot of donors and a lot of grants and whatnot. But there's also events that we do, like we're going to talk a little bit about our gala. But the Christmas tree one is one that's been going on for a long time, and it's another fundraiser. So we need to be able to have really special trees.
So tell me how you get those special trees. You just came back from where?
From North Carolina.
Picking your own trees.
Yes, we pick. All these trees are picked. Every single one of these trees is handpicked.
Wait. What is a nice guy from Miami know about Christmas trees in North Carolina?
Well, if you would have asked me that question 22 years ago, I would have said nothing.
So was it a fake it till you make it? Was it
Pretty
trial
much
and error?
Yeah.
Or did they come back to the families, Alex, you picked a really rotten tree in North Carolina.
We have some really good vendors, small boutiques, folks that we buy trees from. We don't buy from big farms. And these folks know these trees are not just being sold for fun or to make money. They're really being sold to help Boys and Girls Clubs and to help the organization.
So they really have a lot of pressure on them.
They do. And I put a lot, now over the years, I put a lot more pressure on them.
So now you got to be like a connoisseur of trees.
Absolutely.
So now you okay.
Yes, I can talk the language now. I can go over there. I even change my accent a little bit. Gets a little bit, you get a little southern twine and the pitch goes a little higher.
Let me hear.
No.
I
have to be in a mountain to do that.
Well, okay. We'll get there.
I'll send you a video at some point.
Okay.
No, but
so you're up there in November. You're picking trees, and it was hot.
Yeah, no, actually in June. I was up in June picking trees, and it was really hot this year. So it felt like I was back home. But it is really a beautiful place, and we spent 3-4 days picking trees, looking for different shapes. You look for the health of the tree. You look for the fullness of the tree. A lot of trees, if you just grow them fast, they don't get full. They just grow tall and lengthy. And there's big gaps in between them. You got to bring them down so that they get full. You got to trim them up. This happens every year, once or twice a year. So I look for that, make sure that how they're trimming the trees. I know you're like, what does this guy know about this stuff?
No,
there's so much about it.
I had a family member that was in the tree business, and it was like, how did he know about trees? A nice Jewish boy from Brooklyn. No, really. And how did he know about trees? And it's really an education, and it's really a specialty of knowing what to pick. And for what you're doing, this becomes a very meaningful moment for these families, that you went to North Carolina, that you brought them back, that they're going to be in their home for the season. That must make you feel so incredible. And I'm not, so we had fun about that, but there's seriousness in this, and that it's important for the holidays to be around family or family figures that really give you that opportunity to enjoy the holiday season.
Well, it's an honor, but it's a lot of pressure. Because you need to make sure that you have a right tree. Because if you buy a tree in a little corner somewhere, you're not going to remember who you bought it from or anything. But if you've bought it at Boys and Girls Club, you remember I bought a really good tree at Boys and Girls Club, or that tree was not good at Boys and Girls Club. That's a reputation that kind of affects us year round. So the pressure's on that. I need to make sure I deliver really, really good trees.
It's on you.
It's on me. I got to make sure I deliver.
Watch for the hit,
Yes, I got to watch it. They're really fresh. Since we buy from small growers, our trees are cut a week before less before they get shipped, as opposed to some trees are even cut, like box stores trees are cut like in October. Some trees are almost being cut in a month from now. So they've been sitting there for a long time. Ours are cut like a week before. So there's a lot that goes into it.
There's a pride. How many trees did you bring back?
We bring back about 4,000 trees.
Wow.
So we sell through the club. So.
Is it just through the club, or is it for lay people that are out of the club can have?
Oh no, anybody can come buy a tree. I mean, we're open to the public from 9 to 9 every single day. We open the Monday before Thanksgiving.
Where is it? Where is this tree?
On US 1 and 32nd Avenue. That's where our tree lot's on. We're the original one right on US 1 and 32nd Avenue.
Not much has changed.
No, that part has not changed. The location's the same. The tents have changed a little bit. How we display trees. I mean, we have over 300 trees in this place. So we create like these little forests, and you walk through the forest. We just saw some of the pictures, and you kind of see all the trees, and just kind of make it fun for the family. Make it an experience too.
Absolutely, and you're part of that experience, and that must give you such a good feeling. To be part of their home and their experience. It
does, because you have people that there's a saying at the office that during November, December, I'm everybody's best friend, because everybody calls you, hey Alex, and you haven't seen him in a year. I'm looking for the tree, and so it makes it a lot of fun.
It's great. It's great. Everybody knows your name. And then you have a very big special event happening, Wild About Kids Gala. That's coming up October 18th. And when I said it to you earlier, you were like, oh my gosh, that's coming up real soon.
Yes.
Tell me, 5 weeks.
Yes, it is. Oh my goodness. It's a fantastic event. We have some incredible people putting it together. We have such a great committee. Our chairwoman is unbelievable. She's so dynamic, and she's just like, let's just make it better and better every year. So it's a lot of fun. And it's going to be a great event at the Lowe's in Coral Gables. We'll probably have 400 to 500 people there. and a fantastic event. The kids will perform, and we've got all sorts of surprises, and it's a great night. And the cool thing is you just enjoy such a wonderful night, and you're raising money for the Boys and Girls Clubs.
Absolutely. And to get in touch with them, it is 305-446-9910, or through their website is bgcmia.org. I'll continue on. Why is it so important for this gala as a fundraiser for our community? Because it's not only for the Boys and Girls Club people that are involved, for lay people in the community to be part of this event and all the other events, whether it be the trees, buying a tree, and the gala as well.
Sure. I mean, and that's a great question, because everything we do, we can't do it alone. If the community is not supporting it or behind it, we can't do it. I mean, we can have all these fantastic ideas and thoughts, but they'll just be ideas and thoughts until the community says, hey, we believe in what you're talking about. We believe in the programs you're doing. We want to get behind it. So yes, the Gala is one of those that raises a significant amount of money to help us continue to fund these programs and to continue to hire the folks that we need. And we talked about 120 employees, but we want to hire quality folks. And to hire quality folks, you have to pay well. So those are the kind of things that we need to do, events like this, to help offset, these programs and whatnot. So it's extremely important that if somebody has not bought their ticket to the Gala, they buy it now.
You got to buy the ticket. You got to buy the ticket because it is so much fun. You're entertained. The kids, all the kids that are in the club, not all, they dance, they sing. I was there last year with my husband. We had such a good time, and you can feel the energy and the enthusiasm. And the people that work at the Boys and Girls Clubs that were helping these dancers and singers, they were just as excited. Mm-hmm. They were just as excited as the kids, and their heart, you feel their heart right there. And it's a wonderful night to raise money and to be part of a community that really just supports kids and their families. And without the Boys and Girls Club, it would be really a loss and a miss. Yeah,
we're family. I mean, we are family. We look at the staff, yes. Yeah. Everybody has a job to do, but at the end of the day, we're all family, and I treat all of them as family. We've got so many things to do. So when you see the staff, they're excited about the kids.
That's right.
And, you'd be interesting because you talk to the staff and you ask them, I can ask any staff about a particular kid, and they'll tell you the whole history about this kid, the family. They know the families. They know everybody. And that's kind of the point. The better we know the kids, it's not transactional, it's transformational. And that's kind of what we want to do, make sure our programs are transformational.
I love that, transformational. Mm-hmm. I love that, because in years to come, you never know how you're going to affect, or you've affected a family and a child. Mm-hmm. And the stories probably are great. Give me one story that really stands out for you.
Oh my goodness.
Feedback.
Well, we just saw one today.
Yeah.
Right? First thing you told me, she's been working since she was 18. Now she's been working here for almost 20 years, and she grew up at the Boys and Girls Clubs as a kid. And what we try to provide is that the sense of belonging, the sense of, hey, take pride in what you do. It's kind of like the moral compass. But there's so many stories. Many times we have a program called the Youth of the Year, so we pick a teen every year out of that. And I remember one teen that many years ago, her mom had succumbed to drugs, and she lived in a place that was not a good place. And so she was always the first one at the club and the last one to leave. And it was because she didn't really want to go home, because it was a really difficult environment to live in, the inner city, really difficult environment. And she was very self-conscious. So over time, being at the club, she kind of came out of her shell. All of a sudden, she became the cheerleading squad leader. Later on, kind of built that self-confidence up, which is what we want to do. Went to college, got her degree, and she's doing really fantastic. She's got her own little business now going on, and it's because she came out of her shell, and we were able to do that. She rehabbed her mom in the process. It's a super success story, and that's kind of what we want to do. So it's just one story that just popped into my mind right now. There's so many like that.
So you must have quite a good feeling about the work that you're contributing and how it affects them and affects you, and it really must do something to you, move you.
It does. It definitely moves me, and it moves a lot of those folks. I mean, if you look at our staff, some of them have been there 20, 30 years. And you say, why is nowadays people don't last that long in a job? And it's because of that feeling. I'm reminded of we had a donor once that we met with, and he wrote us a check for $250,000, and he gave me the check, and I was super excited because we were building this new club, and super excited. And he says, you still have something I don't have. And I'm like, well, what is that? I'm thinking, what is that you don't have? I mean, you're like, what is it? And he says, you have the satisfaction that every day when you go home, that you've helped so many kids. And he says, I don't get that in my job. So of course, immediately I turned around and said, you can write another check tomorrow if you like. but it didn't happen. But yeah, but if that's that feeling that we get of the satisfaction of the work that we do.
And that's what life is all about, is those connections of people to people connections. And the work that you're doing is beautiful. And you have year-round engagements in sports. And in addition to the school year programming, the club offers summer camp and sport leagues. What kind of impact does that have on the kids' development nowadays?
Oh, that's a lot of fun, because summer is really about experiences. It's about taking them to movies, taking them on an airboat ride in the Everglades, taking them to the beach, and even something as simple as the movies. We think we've all been to the movies. Some of our kids have never been to the movies, so they experience the movie theater and like, wow, this is pretty neat. They look around, and you never know when that's going to inspire them to get into film or whatnot. So the more experiences you have in life, which is what we try to give the kids during the summer, the more opportunities that they can develop and be interested in. And sports are just fantastic. I mean, some of these, we have thousands of kids in sports programs every year. We have some fantastic, incredible programs, from cheerleading to flag football to tackle football to basketball. I mean, there's so many different programs, and it's just many times it's an outlet for kids to grow and develop, because sports, fitness in general helps. But at the same time, they're learning discipline, they're learning teamwork, they're learning respect for authority. They're learning motivation. They're learning to have self-worth. Those kind of things are really, big things that we learn as intrinsic part of life that really helps them.
So let's talk about for those viewers that are watching. Tell me a little bit how we can get involved, whether it be volunteering, donating, and to helping.
Well, sure. I mean, obviously,
showing up to events too.
Showing up to events like Gala, all the golf tournaments, all these kind of events that we do. But yes, I mean, it's so many different possibilities, from the simple of just write a check. You go to our website, you make a donation. That's the easiest way to do it, right?
Go ahead, do the plug. Website, give the phone number. Go ahead.
Yes, bgcmia.org. Come look at it and donate there. Donate now if you want to. We definitely need that. But there's also many other ways. Volunteering. We're always looking. I talked about the sports programs. We're always looking for people that we're going to get involved in and say, I want to be part of that, and volunteer and help us out and coach some of the kids, or even they want to help out with they have a specialty thing. They want to do something with our reading programs or whatnot. We can definitely do that. Sometimes people offer they have a unique business. So if we can take some of our high school kids to experience those businesses, they can another experience, actually come here to a studio, right? And say, oh my God, this is pretty neat. So they can kind of get the idea of what something like this is. So there's so many different businesses in Miami. So there's so many different ways to support, the work that we're doing in the mission of the Boys and Girls Clubs. And those are just some of them.
And looking to the future, no crystal ball, but tell me a little bit what's going to be happening for the expansion projects that are happening.
Yeah, so we're working on some really fantastic stuff.
This is in your Northwest and your Klein clubs?
We're looking at Northwest of expanding the club. That's a club that was done in the 50s, so we're in the process of hopefully tearing it down and building a new facility there. So a state-of-the-art facility for the next 50 to 100 years, right? At our Kendall location, talk about sports. It's a big sports club. We're working with the folks at the Orange Bowl. Hopefully in January, do a groundbreaking to put up a brand new state-of-the-art football field that, it's turf, so it can be multi-use. We can do all sorts of different things on there. As well. We're looking at possibly expanding maybe down south at some point. At our 32nd Avenue as well, we're at capacity. We have over 600 kids in an after-school program there. Talk about creative programming and trying to figure out where to put these kids. It's really interesting.
Do you sleep at night?
I try. Absolutely. But yeah, so we've got so many things going on. I'm really excited about all that.
And any last words that you want to share with our audience that we haven't touched?
I mean, just really to thank the community, the Miami community, for supporting the Boys and Girls Clubs, not only now, but throughout the years. I mean, there's so many folks that come in through and say, hey, I came here as a kid and I support it now, or my dad supported it then. So, I just want, the community, thanks for believing in what we do. And there's still a lot more work to do. There's still a lot more kids in this community that we need to continue to help and serve. And so, if you're thinking about it, Don't think, just do it, right? Get involved and help and get involved with us and reach out to us. We'd love to have you.
Alex, your humanity and your strength and your energy is infectious. Thank you so much for joining me today. And may you have many, many, many good years. The club really benefits by you being there with them, growing with them all along. So
thank you.
And so if you want to get involved, you have the information scrolling across right now. And don't forget, October 18th, we want to see you at the Gala. And if you want to get involved, just please, Alex is here. He's
Yes.
waiting for you. He wants you to be part of his world too. And I want to thank you for joining me today. I'm Fara Sax. Until next time, take care of yourselves and each other. Have a great day.